Today's lecture is about nozzle flow meter. Nozzle flow meter is an obstruction type of flow meter. We know that obstruction type of flow meter works on the principle that we measure the differential pressure across an obstruction which is put in the flow. So suppose there is a pipe, we put an obstruction inside the pipeline and then we measure the differential pressure across the obstruction. This is the construction of a flow meter based on nozzle. This is the direction of flow. Capital D is the diameter of the pipe, and in the path of the flow we have put an obstruction. This obstruction is of cylindrical shape having diameter small d. Approach to the cylindrical obstruction is a smooth elliptical contour. So you see here elliptical contour which terminates into a cylindrical obstruction. We measure the pressure at first point, that is P1. This pressure tapping is 1 diameter behind the elliptical contour, and second pressure we are measuring at point 2, that is P2. The pressure tap at P2 is half diameter towards the direction of flow. So this is upstream of the flow, this is downstream of the flow. So we are measuring P1 and P2 as shown in the diagram. So what we have just explained is given in form of notes. So here we are talking about the elliptical contour and a cylindrical throat section. Flow nozzle provides an intermediate pressure drop between orifice plate and Venturi tubes. Also, these can be used for a slurry system which would be otherwise difficult to measure. Now we come to the principle of operation. Working principle is based on Bernoulli's equation. This is your Bernoulli's equation, and since for pressure tapping 1 and 2 the height is same, so the height term goes away and we are left with this equation. Then delta P is equal to P1 minus P2, and that is in turn, if we put the value of P1 and P2 from here, we get this equation, delta P equal to half bracket start rho V2 square minus rho V1 square bracket closed. Now we arrive at the derivation part. So we are using the Bernoulli's equation for the derivation purpose. We have already explained this equation, and then from mass conservation principle, rho times V1A1 is equal to rho times V2A2, and therefore we get the relationship between V2 and V1, that means velocity at point 2 related with the velocity at point V1. And when we put the value of V2 in the equation, we arrive at this equation, and further simplification gives us this equation. So therefore we get, in terms of delta P, value of V1. So V1 equal to this expression. You can see that value of area at cross section 1 and A2 value of area of cross section at point 2 is known to us, density is known to us, delta P we have measured, so velocity V1 is, the velocity at point V1 can be determined, and we know that volume flow Q is equal to area times the velocity. So Q is equal to A1 times V1, and when we put the value of V1 from here, we get this expression. Of course, doing a little mathematical manipulation, we can arrive at this expression also. So this expression and this expression are equivalent. We can use any one of them. So for the ideal fluid, which is non-viscous, we get the expression of volume flow equal to this expression. But we know that the real fluids are viscous. So there is conversion of energy into heat, and because of this conversion into heat, the velocity determined by this expression is less than the ideal one. So this is the flow using the ideal fluid, but actual flow rate shall be less than the ideal one. So a coefficient of discharge C subscript D is to be introduced. So by introducing the coefficient of discharge, we arrive at this expression for flow rate. So here is the coefficient of discharge, and this is the expression for ideal flow rate. Conclusion: the flow calculation for the long radius nozzle are similar to that of the orifice plate, with the exception of the values of the discharge coefficient. So in the following slide we have shown some standard values of this discharge coefficient. This is the table showing the discharge coefficient. You can see that the discharge coefficient is changing because of the ratio small d divided by capital D, and of course it depends upon Reynolds number. So these values are useful. The salient features of this lecture series. This lecture series is a combination of diagrams, notes and lectures. When one clicks the play button, the lecture starts. When one clicks the pause button, the main points of the presentation can be noted down. This lecture series is useful to the engineering students, control and instrumentation engineers and students, and the process design engineers. That is me, and here is my email address for any comments or suggestions. And finally, last but not the least, thank you.